Hi, Jenny here. Today we are going to be making a white chocolate cranberry orange cookie. So let's get started. For this recipe we need 1 cup of butter softened, half a cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of regular sugar, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of orange zest, 1/4 cup of orange juice, half a teaspoon of almond extract, 3 cups of flour, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a cup of chopped walnuts, 1 cup of dried cranberries, and 1 cup of white chocolate chips. We are going to start by mixing together our butter and sugars. So, hopefully these are soft enough. I forgot to take out my butter last night before bed. I figured, well, I'll do that this morning and then I'll goof around enough and they'll be soft. It's actually been cold outside here. I think today we may be warming up to 20. We had 6 degrees yesterday when I woke up, I believe, with a -30 wind chill. Made some cookies yesterday too. It was a good day to make cookies. We're staying in the house. So we normally don't get this cold of weather until end of January. We're still in December, so unusual to have it this cold this early, but all right, have the butters in there. We're standing on it. And then our brown sugar and our white sugar. And we will go ahead and cream these together until they're nice and smooth. Yeah, but yesterday too, my butter was just a little firm. But the cookies came out really nicely. And I beat it enough till the butter was smooth enough. There were a few chunks in there in the beginning, but then we got it so that it was good. So I'm sure that'll happen again today. All right, yep, that creamed together very nicely. I don't see any chunks in here. But before we move on, we'll go ahead and scrape down the bowl just to make sure that everything does get all incorporated, because sometimes on the beater here there are some chunks of butter that didn't get mixed in with the sugars and all, so we want to make sure that everything gets beat together well, mixed together. So I'll go ahead, scrape down the sides of the bowl too. I said the corners. The bowl doesn't have corners. Do you like to make cookies on a cold day? Do you like to make Christmas cookies? Yeah, whether it's cold or not. This seems to be a cookie made more at this time of the year. This is when I have made it. I do like this cookie. I like that, the orange and the cranberry flavor. I've made muffins with those flavorings too. They are very tasty. All right, we're gonna add our 1 egg. Oh, we're gonna chance. No shells. And we'll mix that in. Didn't know whether I was going to make Christmas cookies this year or not. But then my daughter asked me about it, and so I thought, sure, all right, we can do that. All right, let me wipe my finger off. Dun, dun, dun. I have on my cute Christmas towel. Oh, we can't see it that way. Cute snowman. I have several Christmas towels. I need more for some of the other holidays. I don't really have like a fall one. Even for Valentine's Day, I may have one or two, maybe one. I guess. Well, even for the month of February, I could put out more. For Christmas, I'm like, I have like one different one for every week. Okay, almond extract. If you don't want to have the almond extract, don't like that flavor, trying to go nut-free, You can always use vanilla. Almond extract always smells so good. So I'm going to add that. I will add the orange juice. And I will go ahead and add the orange zest. Now, for my orange zest, I bought a jar of orange peel. I've used this before. I've had that, so that's what I'm using again today. If you don't have this, can't find it at the store, maybe it's easier. You can always just take an orange and your grater. That's right, I was gonna try to do this. I'm gonna have stuff in here. Hold on, let me mix this. Oh, that almond, it smells so good. All right. Wipe this off again so that hopefully nothing will fall onto my beater stand. Besides the fact of wanting it all mixed in. But also, my daughter was doing this the other day, doing the clearing of the spatula. And I thought we had a woodpecker pecking at the house. She's like, Mom, it's winter. I'm like, I know. I didn't think the woodpeckers would be around, but that's what it sounded like. In any case, if you have a grater and you have an orange, so I washed the orange. You want to do that because obviously you're using the peel. And then you can just grate your orange peel and do that. And I figured, you know what? I bought the oranges and then I kind of forgot. And I grabbed my orange peel out of the cabinet. But I thought, you know, usually when I make these kind of cookies, even my muffins, like, they didn't taste orange enough for me. So I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna add extra orange flavoring. So we'll try that this time. See if this works. If we add extra orange, I'll do half the orange as it calls for, like I said, about that tablespoon of orange zest. So we'll have about 2 tablespoons worth. Some real stuff. The bottle did smell like orange, but this way we've got some real stuff in there too. Yummy! That mixed. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and add our baking soda to the flour. And mix that in. Then you can either mix this in by hand, take it off of here so you can pour it all in, mix it by hand, or if you're doing it with a mixer, go on your low speed and go by tablespoons, so hopefully it won't poof up too much. Alrighty. I was wondering if the dough was going to end up being like super thick, having 3 cups of flour in there, but there was enough liquid in here that it still is kind of a wet dough. It's not too sticky. Alrighty. I'm gonna go ahead and clean off the batter, the beater. If you like to do it with just the spat, I like to get all the dough off as possible, so I use my fingers. Otherwise you leave like, you know, half a cookie behind on these things. Like, I want all the goodness. So go ahead and finish this off. Once you have your beater all cleaned off and the dough is ready to go, we are going to then add in the last of our ingredients. So we have our dried cranberries and our white chocolate chips. It's gonna make it look so pretty. And then our chopped walnuts. And then these we will just mix in by hand so that nothing gets crumbled apart or anything. And the dough doesn't get overmixed, because then it can become a little bit too stiff. So we'll go ahead and we will get all this deliciousness mixed in. Sometimes I do it, if I do it when I have it on the beater, I will put the ingredients in there and just do a quick couple turns of mixing, so again it doesn't get overmixed. But sometimes when the dough does get a little bit thicker, it's just easier with the automatic mixer. There we go. We are all mixed. Now I'm going to cover this with saran wrap, put it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and make those cookies. The dough has been in the refrigerator for half an hour-ish, probably just a little bit more, but I love that I can see, if you can see there or not, the little orange pieces, the orange rind. Orange grind. It's like I grinded off it. No, I zested it. So that orange zest in there, I can see the little pieces. That's gonna be so tasty. So I'm going to use a little scoop and scoop out the dough. Otherwise you can just use 2 teaspoons and get the dough on here. I've made these cookies before, but I did not put white chocolate chips in them. I don't think I had nuts in them either. They're very good. So I thought, oh, well, let's try this recipe this year. I think this is about the 3rd or 4th cranberry recipe I have now in a row. I didn't think about that. I was just thinking about what kind of cookies to be able to make, seeing as Cassie, like I said, wanted some Christmas cookies this year. So I thought, well, I would love to remake this cookie. So there we go. Get my 12 on here, maybe. Last one's not going to release. There we go. I didn't put enough in there. Alrighty, preheat the oven to 350 degrees, and then we are going to bake these for about 13 minutes until they are brown on the edges. Beep beep. Alright, check them at 10 minutes, seeing as these are a little bit of a smaller cookie being done with a scoop. This is how they are at 11. I made it go for one more, and then they'll cool on the tray for a minute before we remove them to the cooling rack. So judge your cooking time then by how big you are making your cookies. On these cookies I put an extra cranberry and a chocolate chip on top, a white chip, and then a walnut. So let's see how these look compared to what we've got going on there. After I had these cookies trayed up, it dawned on me that, a lot of times to make the cookies look maybe a little prettier on top, to add a little extra of the ingredients. So if I would have thought about that, and I'll put it in the directions, that when making the cookies, save some of the cranberries so that you can put them on top. Kind of like when I make M&M cookies and all that, they say, oh, save some M&Ms and, you know, put those on top, or add 1 cup in and then plus extra ingredients. So I figure, well, I will do that now, even though I already have the cups worth in there. I didn't save any out, but I can take extras because I have them. And then, depending on the size of the cookie, like I put 1 white chip on top of all of them already. And then some of the cranberries are a little bit smaller, some of them are bigger. So depending on what you got going on already at the top of the cookie, if you have a lot of cranberry, then you can put a smaller one in. If you have not so much, you can put a bigger one in. And then with the walnuts, same. My walnuts were more halves and bigger pieces, so I'm trying to kind of break those up so that I'll have a little bit of a smaller piece. They're still so big. But I'm going to have a big bite of walnut. Let's put the big piece there. Alright. So same. Then you can figure out the size of the pieces that you have and where you want to put them. Or add a couple of them. And ultimately that will make the cookie look a little bit prettier. I still love that I can see some of the orange. The orange Zest pieces, I don't think I have a white chip on that one. They smell good. And coming out of the oven, they're smelling very good. I'm looking forward to my tasting it at the end of the video. Let's see, can I put that one there? So anyways, yep, do that to your cookies and then bake them. So here we have the cookies that I put the extra toppings on top. So you can see how different they look than just a plainer cookie. Although, if you're going to do icing on them, then the plain cookie is nice too. But we just let them cool a couple minutes on the tray and then put them on our cooling rack. The white chocolate cranberry orange cookies are all finished. So, as I did mention in one part when I was making the cookies, when I had my first batch in the oven, I was thinking that, oh yeah, when I looked at it, it looked kind of plain. So if you don't put any extra toppings on, it's like this. If you put some extra toppings on the top, it'll maybe look a little bit prettier. I remember that as I was thinking about when I do M&M cookies, that when you mix the M&Ms in the batter and as they cook out, it all spreads out and they get incorporated in the cookie and you don't really see the pretty colors. But if you add some extra ingredients on top, then it'll look a little bit prettier. I have made these cookies before. I did not add the white chocolate, and I don't think I had nuts in that one. It's one of my most popular videos on the channel. It was one of them that I made way when I started my channel, and we didn't realize yet how to be able to make the sound be less. So the music is really loud, and I have complaints on that and the comments on that video that music is really loud. Unfortunately, I know YouTube does have an area you can edit your video, but you can't edit like sound like that. You can't make the music part to be less, even though it's its own tab. I can cut portions of a video, but I can't just do that. So that's why I figured too this year, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna make another cranberry orange cookie because I like it, I like the taste, it's a nice cookie, it's festive for this time of year. So, and then so I decided to add the extra ingredients in, and I did do the double orange zest. I could smell it too as I was making the cookie balls, and so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to taste orange in this one. So let's see. Try to get a bite of everything in there. Oh yeah. That is very orange. And I can taste the almond extract. And my cranberries. Ooh, that's good. Very, very good. So it's very nice. It was very tasty. Gonna have the cookie just like this, or if they're a little bit more plain, like what I did in my other recipe, I drizzled an icing on top. So if you're going to do that and you're going to share them, then I had it put it in the freezer for like 10 minutes so that icing hardens up, so you are able to stack them and the icing doesn't come off. Otherwise, if your cookie's just like this, that can stack just right. That's you can leave it just like this. It's sweet enough. Don't need anything extra. Looks pretty. That's very good. So, if I don't have cookie on my face, let me know what your favorite cookie is. Do you bake cookies for Christmas? This can be made all year round, but this is mostly the time people bake a whole lot of cookies and different ones, and this is, again, more of a festive one. I know Sandy let me know that she had her grandkids over this weekend and they were baking cookies. So very nice. So do you bake cookies, again, for Christmas? Do you do them by yourself? Do you do them with family, friends, grandkids, your own kids? I've usually made it mostly myself. Some of the sugar cookies I've had, you know, the kids have decorated at some points. But yeah, I was doing it when the kids were in school, and I would make them for all the teachers. Give them a little thank you gift for all their hard work. Then I stopped for a while, then stuff happened, life happened, and so maybe we'll be getting back to this because they're pretty delicious. Again, it's good if I can share them though. I don't need to be eating a lot. I'm happy. I ate one cookie yesterday. We made 2 batches, and I had one peanut butter kiss cookie. Those are usually kind of my favorite, but lately it's like, maybe my taste buds have changed too. This one tastes good. This is one of my favorites. I will leave this recipe down below, and like I said, leave me some comments. You guys, keep it positive. Go make it a great day. Bye-bye.